Okay, so all right, all right, all right. Yes, I want to welcome everybody to the first segment, first class of our Abundant Life Mind Shift Women's Empowerment Program. I gotta get that in my head, but Mind Shift Women's Empowerment Program. And for those that don't know who I am Empress Michelle Love, and I am a motivational speaker, and we just branched out on our first nonprofit, Empress to Empress, which is we focus on women. We focus on recreating the mind of our women, because a lot of people think they don't need no help, but I'm being empowered just being here to help empower others. So I said I wasn't gonna go live, but I'm going to go live just for this first class today, so that people can get a better understanding that wasn't able to make it of what we're trying to do here. And I partnered up with Kay. She is the CEO of the Phillips House Mission, and her and I have been working together to put this program together, and we have a whole lot of other things that we're going to be doing as well. So I want to thank Kay for the support, because it's hard to get that nowadays. A lot of people are, into their own thing and don't think they need no one else to step in, but I'm telling you, when you're starting something, you need more than just one person. You need a group of people in order for it to be able to be successful. So for those that have their syllabus, let's run over through the syllabus so that we can get a better understanding of what this program is going to be about. And yes, we will be meeting every Monday at 6 o'clock here, and 6 to 8 here every Monday in Southfield. We at the Southfield Civic Center. Okay, so the overview and the purpose of the Abundant Life Mind Shift in Women's Empowerment Program, we focuses on empowerment services in order to help women rise above poverty-driven thinking, behaviors, and lifestyles by systematically addressing issues women have lived with, suffer from, and need to overcome in order to be strong and self-sufficient without being judged. We want women to know that you shouldn't feel alone when it comes to relationships, hardships, overwhelming tasks at work, motherhood, abuse of any kind, self-esteem issues, the lack of me time, and so much more that we go through as women. We understand and will provide different social techniques, as well as self-maintenance and financial classes. Okay, so the program expectations. It is expected that women attend class sessions each week in order to achieve maximum results. So let me say that again. You should at least attend the class 2 times out of the month, which I should say. But if you're here, once you step through that door, you said to yourself, I'm ready for a change. I'm here because there is something about me that I know that I can fix, that I know that I can strengthen, or I have something that I can bring to someone else that might help them as well. So once you committed yourself to this program, let's keep it frequent so that you can get the maximum results for this, okay? Like I said, attendance is a huge factor in determining not only whether you will complete the course, but whether your shift will be successful. Standards, self-confidence. Responsibility and accountability. Determination and love for others. Okay, so just remember those three. The objective is understanding of self-pity, no pity or self-doubt. No pity or self-doubt. So that means we're going to work on those that always are down in themselves. I gotta do this. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm not pretty enough. My hair not long enough. I need to lose weight. I need to gain weight. That's putting self-pity on yourself. Instead of talking about things, we have to go through the motions to be able to create what we want for ourselves. Okay. So the course, of course, we got pencils, paper, folder, composition journal, note. Every Monday when we come in, there'll be a quote on the chalkboard. And the quote for today, it says, I'm going to read it from here, since I have it right here. Don't rely on someone else for your happiness and self-worth. Only you can be responsible for that. If you can't love and respect yourself, no one else will be able to make that happen. Accept who you are completely, the good and the bad, and make changes that you see fit, not because you think someone else wants you to be different. Okay, so our first segment that we're going, the first segment will have 4 classes. And this is segment 1, and this is class 1, I'm coming out. Okay, so week 2, we'll be talking about, it'll be mirror me. So that's basically, we'll be talking about likes, dislikes of ourselves, appearances, self-esteem. Week 3, it's called Strength, Courage, and Wisdom. We'll be talking about loving ourselves first, attitude, and communication. Week 4, Still I Rise. So everything out of week 1, week 2, week 3, we have worked on and talked about, and we'll be learning loyalty, importance of loyalty, and sisterhood, because sisterhood is very, very important nowadays. We lack that. We lack that as women, and we just have to be honest. It's too much going on out here for us not to be able to come together as sisters and have each other back and help each other move forward. Okay, so and then the second segment is called I Can Only Be Myself, and we'll be talking about your purpose, mental health, abuse of any kind, and our last week we will talk about, it's called Time is Money. So we will discuss how to do credit management, just a class about how to, a lot of people don't know how to arrange and coordinate their finances. A lot of people don't know how to manage their money. So that'll be a good thing for us to learn as well. Okay? So I want to pass this worksheet out first. And let me pass out this worksheet. Wow. So when you guys have, a little time, go over this worksheet and circle what you want to make a shift on. 3 things from that list. Okay. So let's see. There's a lot of things that we need to make shifts on. Now here, I'm going to tell what mine is. I'm going to go through and say what mine is. That I had to work on. That I want to work on. I want to stop overspending, which sometimes I feel like I overspend. Sometimes I have to learn how to manage manage my spending sometimes, you know, and being on time. That's another thing of mine that I have to work on, is being on time, because sometimes I'm late. That you tell me to be there at 7:30, I might not get there at 7:45. You know, I know different ways to work on being on time is to start your time earlier. Leave about an hour early, because you never know about what's gonna come your way doing it. Like last week, we had to postpone the class because of I got caught in traffic and I wasn't able to get here too late. So we having a better week this week, and I'm happy to see everyone here. Any questions before we move forward? Okay. So I just wanted to go live just to let y'all know, give y'all a little insight of what this program is about. I'm really not, I didn't really want to do the first whole one live, but I will. I'm happy to see that people are actually sitting here watching. Okay, I'm coming out. That's what we're going to talk about. I'm coming out. That means you are ready to change whatever it is that you need to work on. Whether it's like this worksheet says, whether it's being able to say no, being able to say yes. You know, a lot of people have a problem or don't know how to love other people. You know, I'm gonna share this with my sister. I'm gonna share this, Kay. I have to share it. Now, when I first met her, you know, the connection was great, but we had as we talked and as we built our relationship. I remember one time we were on the phone. We probably that phone was hot. We got off about for 2 hours. And at the end of the call, because I felt like it was a definitely heartfelt phone call, at the end of the call, I told her, I said, I love you. And she said to me, oh, see, that's something I have to work on. Being able to tell others that, you know, that you love them. And I know sometimes people think that love just rolls off your tongue out of them, but that's what we have to learn, how to be able to humble ourselves and just say, I love you. Just saying I love you is strength. That's empowerment, you know? It's nothing wrong with saying I love you, but you never know what someone has been through. Like, I used to have a problem when I was younger. I felt that we didn't get enough love and affection as we wanted to. I had a problem with that. And this is one thing that I like that we're going to work on, is letting go of your past. Letting go of what you have went through from your younger years, bringing it to the present. Because sometimes you might figure out, like, man, I don't know why this relationship is not working out, or whether it's with a you know, a partner or a family member. You know, relationships sometimes might be hard because you don't know how to love. You don't know how to care. You don't know how to look out for one another because you weren't taught that. You know, so that was one of my struggles growing up. I was always wondering, like, man, why? I love my mother to death, but I used to be wondering, like, man, why my mom not giving me all this love and affection that she's giving others, you know, outside in the church or whatnot. It's like you coming home from church, and after we be in that church, everything is great, but then when you come home from church, it's just the attitude. It's just like, it's nothing. So I carried that for a while, and I always wanted to know, and I said to myself, well, when I have children, I'm going to love them. I'm going to hug them. I'm going to kiss them. I'm going to show them all the affection that I did not receive. So I was able to break out of that at, I would say, about the age 22, 23 years old, because I wasn't able to show affection and love in my relationships because I wasn't treated that way, you know. So what I didn't carry this burden through me. There were a lot of, and I want to encourage people, if your parents are still alive or whatnot, and you have some things that you're carrying and you want to know some answers, I would encourage you to ask and talk about these things, because I'm not here because I don't know anything. I'm not here because I haven't went through anything. I'm here because I ain't went through everything. I'm only 37. I'll be 38 this year. But I can say the last 20 years, I have built up a resume for myself when it comes to change and when it comes to shifting. And what better way to learn is from somebody that already has been through it. So what helped me get through what I've gotten through is talking about it and asking questions, you know, and not feeling afraid to speak, you know. So again, I talked with my mom, and my mom explained to me, she said, you know what, which she has definitely got better with it. Of course, you know, it's different when it came to grandkids, you know, but she said to me, she said that she wasn't loved. She didn't have that love and that affection, you know, as a child. So she wasn't able to carry that on to her children. You know, it was easy to love other children that didn't belong to her, but by her not having that type of love and affection as a child, she wasn't able to give that to her children. But she gives it, that was when we were younger. But as we grew into teenagers or whatnot, and it got a little, you know, better for her, she has got definitely better to her. My mom loves to hug, she loves to love, she loves to love, and that's a great thing, you know. And maybe from us expressing how we felt helped her with that as well, you know. So we in this course we'll be teaching self-confidence. Okay, we have to have self-confidence about ourselves. Okay, I didn't have self-confidence. It had to grow on me, you know. I'm a slim woman, and I've always been a skinny child. You know, I ain't never grown, never gained anything. But people would think, because a lot of people are trying to lose, trying to get healthy, trying to lose, they would look at women, slim women, smaller women, and think that we have the highest self-esteem ever. And that's not true. I used to hate myself, you know, because I felt like I wasn't thick enough, or I wasn't big enough, and I didn't have what the world insinuated that every man wanted, you know, until I learned. And I didn't start really loving myself until I got into my 30s. You know, I would try to cover up and make myself look or be something that I wasn't, you know. So I had to be able to tell myself, hey, you're going to accept me how I am or not accept me at all. So it's nothing you can tell me anymore about my self-confidence, because it took some time, but that's what I wanted. I didn't want to feel, I didn't want to feel intimidated when I was out on a date with someone and I see someone else that might have, you know, a great, you know, figure or whatnot, and I didn't want to feel like, oh, well, I know he looking, or he probably want that. But now, please, when I'm with my significant other, friend, or whoever I'm hanging with at that time, I don't see nobody else but me in that place, you know. So the I'm coming out. So this is the time for you to ask yourself what changes. So that worksheet that you have, and this is another one. I'm going to pass out this other worksheet. Pass out this other worksheet, and as you say, under that one. Okay, so is there anything you can say to yourself like, hey, this is something that I would like to, can anybody, I know people are shy, you know, and we trying to break that ice. This is the first segment, so it's okay. I can do most of the talking tonight. Y'all can hear me and hear my story. So let me break the ice a little bit here and give y'all, those that don't know me, a little bit more background about who I am and where I came from and how I got here where I am. Okay, so what made me feel like this is something that I wanted to do? Why is Empress here? So I can say back in 2015, I moved to Mobile, Alabama. I was struggling with some things here in Detroit. I was going through a lot of things here in Detroit, so I had to really relocate, trying to get my mind right. You know, I can't say this. It's nothing wrong with separating yourself from your family, your children, your significant other, to get yourself together, to get your mind right. Because back then, in 2014, 13, 12, I didn't know where I was going, what I was doing. You know, I was just living every day, doing what I had to do to survive for another day. Doing what I had to do to make sure my children had a roof over their heads, clothes on their back, and food to eat. You know, so I never thought about nothing but the cause. You know what I'm saying? So for so many years, you know, I went through some things. I struggled with some things. And I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to really get away and really try to find who I am. You know, because when you all over the place, you know, if you're not all over the place in businesses and making money or doing something, you know what I'm saying, productive, you just all over the place, it's time to settle down and try to get it together and try to figure out what your purpose is. So I always knew that I had a purpose for people. I always knew I wanted to help people. I always had that heart. I just always been that sweetheart. I mean, don't get it twisted though, but I have just always had that heart to help people. You know, I've always been the one to get hurt because you feel like a lot of times you might help people and you will expect for them to give you that same support in return. And it just didn't work out like that all the time, because I had to realize, like, everybody not like me. Everybody not gonna have my back like I'm gonna have theirs. And that's okay. That doesn't mean destroy a friendship or throw it away. You just have to learn how to love people just for the way they are. You know, we can't change. I can't change nobody. They can only change themselves. All I can do is just love you the way you are. You know, but so forth and so on. I got down there, hooked up with my cousin Nate. We began to make music. You know, before, when I stayed down there in 2013, I had wrote a song, and it's just like from then, he was like, my cousin can write, she can rap. I didn't know this. So anyway, when I came back down, we got together and we got to making music. Then we ended up making some like conscious music. We got into the Black Power movement, and I definitely can say that right there taught me a whole lot. You know, I want to say too, for people that are in, sometimes, you know, when you first find out things that you didn't know about, you know, this, let me say, this world that we're living in, this system, this government, when you're so used to being conditioned one certain way, it's like anything, like in the church, religious, when you're used to knowing one thing and you haven't exercised your thoughts and your mind outside of that, it's really overwhelming, you know. And the approach is anger. You mad, you angry, you just ready to yell and scream. I mean, for those that have been following me or know me for a long time, I used to always make these videos, and I used to be just going off the hinges, you know. And I thought about myself, like, man, like, the response that I'm getting is negative. I'm getting some good responses, but I don't think people rooting you on to be negative and ugly and mean is a good thing, you know. So I'm like, well, this is not me, because I represent love, you know, but I represent truth, and I don't mind giving it to you raw, you know. But I wanted to bring a message where I can reach everybody, not just a certain group of people. I wanted to be able to reach everybody. It doesn't matter what you believe in, what your religion is, or whatever the case may be. I said I had to bring my tone down so that I can make everyone else feel comfortable. And when you find out information, you just be trying to teach everybody and trying to show everybody and say, here, listen, you ain't know this, you ain't know that. And that's just how the effect that it takes on you. Now, if I was still here 5 years from now, and I was the same person that I was 3 or 4 years ago, then we got a problem here. Because that means I have not grown, you know. Finding out new information from different things. Some people take it, some people don't. And people have to understand a shift is not for everybody.
Right.
Everybody is not going to shift. You know, just because you bring in something to say this is this, everybody is not going to listen to that because it's not everybody's time to shift. Everybody have their time, and then like I said, everybody is not going to shift. But anyway, let me move forward along here. So anyway, I did was making the videos, we were doing the music and everything, and I was like, you know what, I want to start to give back. So we started to give back to the homeless people down in Mobile, Alabama. I connected with the Salvation Army, and we would go there every Sunday and pass out free food and lunches and we just went and got like some hats and scarves and gloves and little things like that. And then twice a month, we would sit down in Mobile and pull right up where the homeless people were at, and I was giving out free haircuts. I had a couple other barbers that were coming to give out free haircuts to the homeless people, and that was great. You know, helping other people gets me high. You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to put a smile on someone else's face or see the someone else's reaction off of a good deed, that's what makes me happy. That's what makes me smile, you know. So anyway, that program didn't last too long because I ended up moving back to Detroit from Mobile, Alabama, and then I started connecting with some people and started to blog talk and doing all of that, and I got burnt out with blog talk. You know, it was great, but again, the energy, I didn't like the negative energy that a lot of things were bringing that I was doing. So I really just wanted to get to a place where I could just show love, you know, and represent. So I never thought to focus on women. I had connected with this brother, Mandela Khan Davis, and he kept telling me, he said, you the one, but you got to bring it down some, and you have to be focused on the women, because right now, let's say for instance, we get okay, they have the Million Man March all the time. They've had a Million Woman March, I think, a couple of years ago, if I'm not mistaken. But just think of trying to help people shift to a different way of thinking. You know, a lot of, and this class will help. This class will help with that. Okay, so let me keep going. I don't want to stay on that too long. But anyway, so over the last couple of years, I kind of just, you know, took some time off to myself here. I got reacquainted with my family that I missed or whatnot. And I didn't still know my purpose. I didn't know. I thought my purpose was to be on Blog Talk forever. I thought my purpose was to make live videos and be on social media every day. I thought that was my purpose, but that's not my purpose. My purpose is to be out here and teach women and show them that there can be solutions. Now, what I can say is a lot of people can talk. We can complain. We can talk about our problems. We can say, this ain't this ain't that. But a lot of people talk. But what are you going to do about it? Okay? You can say, I can't do this, but what about what you can do? I won't do this, but what about what you will do? So that's what we're going to be doing with this program as well. We are going to touch on different topics each week, and we're going to have little different group exercises to show us show different solutions for things. And my main thing is attitude. People attitude. I definitely had came a long way with my attitude, but people have to understand the way that your approach is out here. It really matters. You know, no one's going to take you serious if you're always mad, you're always angry. Every time you turn around, everything that's coming out your mouth is negative. You're talking about such and such and such and such and such and such, but not knowing that all of that anger that you're carrying about somebody else is making you sick. I mean, like, seriously. And it's easy to do. It ain't hard. You know, it's real easy to carry on other people's burdens. And people have to understand, or well, not other people's burdens, but other people's, you know, issues that they have going on in their life. Them not your issues. Them are their issues. You know, we have to learn how to listen without carrying other people's burdens on us, because it's real easy to do. So I also want to we also want to be touching on childhood secrets, because that's a part of growing too. And I am really into reuniting family, or being able to talk about some things, you know. So we have to understand, like, I was molested at 7, okay? I didn't grow up, you know, holding that. I didn't make that a reason why I'm on crack, or the reason why I can't put the drink down. You know, I did not allow that to overcome me and for me to fail because of that. What I did was I asked questions when I got older. It bothered me all the way up until I was in my 20s. And I had to get over that. I had to forgive, not the predator, but I had to forgive my mom for I felt like she didn't protect me, you know. And one thing I had to understand by becoming a mother, we are not perfect. Just because you have a mother and a father, we're not perfect. We make mistakes, but you have parents that walk around here like they shit don't stink. You know, like they never done anything, and they cover things up and don't want to talk about it, not knowing that your children are hurting because they're not able to heal. You know, so we're definitely going to be talking about those things as well. This is going to be a really good program. We will go into depth each week with different things. I just wanted to give everyone an outlook of what is to come. And if you're not ready to change, if you're not ready to make that shift, if you're not ready to be able to walk in your purpose, then this is not for you. If we don't want, this is a free course, so we don't want no one wasting their time. We want, if you're going to be here, we want you to be able to get everything, to receive everything that you can receive, because you can. Okay? So, any questions? Any questions or anything? Okay, I'll move forward. So, so I can only be myself. That's it. So this program will empower you to love yourself. This program will empower you to respect yourself. This program will empower you to put yourself first instead of others. I know it's hard. People be like, well, my kids come first and my husband come first. That's all fine and dandy. But how can you be a good mother or a good wife, and you're not together.
That's right.
A lot of relationships don't work out because people get into them and don't even got themselves together. You're no good to yourself. You're no good to nobody else. You know. So, and a lot of people think that they don't need help in certain areas, and they do. We're not here to judge nobody. We're not here to point out your faults and say no. We're humble. You know, we want to help. We want to help bring you out of whatever it is that you're going through. Oh, so we want to help you grow through what you're going through. Okay? And it all starts with you. It all starts with you. Mental health, we'll be talking about mental health in the second segment, because the second segment really gets into relationships, mental health issues, and so forth. So before I go any further, because I want for confidentiality, anything that we discuss here stays here. Okay, so I want everybody to know that you can't be leaving talking about what such and such was saying or such and such did, because that's the first point to strengthen sisterhood is to have trust. Okay, you don't want to be known as that person that you can't trust. I think it's terrible if somebody talk like, hey, call such and such. No, I don't want such and such. You want to get to the point as a woman, you can be that woman that somebody can trust. You want to be that one that somebody can trust. You don't want to be that person that can't everybody running when you come, or can't nobody trust you. So we have so much more in store. This week I just really wanted to touch on what we're going to be talking about throughout the weeks. This might not be for you. You know, you might be sitting here and saying, hey, I ain't ready. You know, and that's okay. Because as I said, everybody can't be ready at the same time. It just don't work like that. Everybody has to be ready in their own time. Okay? So before I discuss what I'm going to go discuss next, I'm going to go ahead and cut the live video off, because it's probably going to get a little bit personal in here, and feelings are going to go out, so I would rather not air that throughout social media. So I'm looking, hey, for the people that are on, hey fam, I see y'all. So thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna get off of here. Much love to everyone. I'm gonna continue to move on.